Another week passes by in this spooky October, and thus we are back here in Studio 6 bringing you a fresh edition of Inside the Inferno. I'm Blake Neiman, joined by Ray Belcora. We got a lot to unpack in the ASU sports world today.
Good to see you, Blake, and yes, we do. We have a new arena opening for ASU hockey, volleyball and soccer in-season updates, and much more. But first, let's start on the gridiron.
Arizona State football finally found a way to snap their dreadful losing streak dating back to week 2 when the Sun Devils fell to Oklahoma State. For more on how ASU managed to win a shootout against the number 21 ranked Washington Huskies is Finn Garrison.
On Saturday, the Arizona State Sun Devils hosted the number 21 ranked Washington Huskies for a Pac-12 afternoon brawl. After a disappointing 1-4 start to the season, the Sun Devils looked for any spark to reignite this team's chances in the Conference of Champions. After a fast start of Washington's offense by securing a 7-0 lead after their first drive, the Sun Devils settled in and executed both offensively and defensively. This led to a 45-38 win over the Washington Huskies, and Sean Aguano's first win as ASU's head coach.
Is this one of the greatest days of my coaching career? Absolutely. I feel like I'm the richest man in the world right now.
Despite losing starting quarterback Emory Jones to a head injury with less than 9 minutes left to play in the second quarter, ASU's offense churned out yards both through the air and on the ground. On 23 carries, running back Xavier Valade tallied 111 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 receiving touchdown. Backup quarterback and Arizona native Trenton Bourguet stayed composed and led his team to the victory. Bourguet finished with 15 completions for 182 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
Yes, sir. Like I said, as a backup quarterback, you got to be prepared. It's kind of different, because growing up, I've always been that guy, starting, since a freshman in high school and, breaking records.
Although ASU's defense gave up 38 points, they made key plays when they needed it most, especially when defensive back Jordan Clark returned an interception for a touchdown to take a commanding 14-point lead with nearly 3 minutes left to play in the first half.
Guys like Fats, guys like, Kyle, they're just equipped to make the plays. The coaches put us in the right position. All we're doing is executing.
After their first win in Pac-12 play, the Sun Devils enter the bye week with a record of 2 wins and 4 losses. ASU shifts their focus toward their next opponent, where they will travel to California to face the Stanford Cardinal on Saturday, October 22nd. In Tempe, Finn Garrison, Inferno Intel.
After stepping into the starting quarterback role in the wake of an injury to Emory Jones, redshirt junior Trenton Bourguet caught national attention due to his impressive leadership in the Sun Devils' victory. The All-State Sugar Bowl recognized Bourguet's efforts with the Manning Award. Now here to take a deeper look at the QB's performance and his outlook going forward is Douglas Santo.
This past weekend, Trenton Bourguet, former walk-on, led ASU to an incredible comeback upset win over the number 21 ranked Washington. The outstanding performance led him to receiving the Manning Award for being the best quarterback of the week. The Manning Award, named after the Mannings, was created in 2004 to honor the best quarterback in the country, judged by the All-State Sugar Bowl Committee. In 2011, they began honoring the best quarterback of the week, which was voted on by the fans. Bourguet entered the game early in the second quarter, down 10-3, went on to complete 15 of 21 passes for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading the Sun Devils to a comeback upset victory, gaining his recognition for the Manning Award. Bourguet, though, had quite the journey to get to this point. After passing for 7,612 yards and 89 touchdowns at Marana High School, breaking the Arizona 5A state record, he walked on at ASU. He competed for backup reps freshman year after working his way up from the scout team, eventually redshirting that year. Then, as a redshirt freshman, he debuted in a victory over Arizona, leading a pair of touchdown drives. And now this season, as a redshirt junior, he was thrusted into action Saturday with his team trailing and did nothing but excite. TB6 team seems to have quite a flair for the dramatic. The Sun Devils have their bye this weekend, so we'll have to wait until next weekend to see if Emory Jones is healthy enough to play or if Trenton Bourguet gets his first career start.
Thank you, Douglas. After years of construction, ASU's on-campus Mullet Arena is opening this weekend for Sun Devil men's and women's hockey. For more, let's head over to Kobe Bronstein.
Nearly 2 years after breaking ground on a new multi-purpose facility in Tempe, The newly minted Mullet Arena made its long-awaited grand opening on Wednesday, October 12th. The ASU women's hockey team took on in-state rival Grand Canyon University and won a riveting comeback victory by a score of 4-2. Graduate transfer Mason Walker lit the lamp early on a power play, the first ever at Mullet Arena, to give the Sun Devils an early one-goal advantage. Despite the home side dominating the shots on net battle 36-15 after 2 periods, it was the Antelopes that made the most of their goal-scoring opportunities, leading 2-1. A 3-goal outburst in the final frame, highlighted by a Jill Ketchum game-winning shorthanded tally, electrified the Sun Devil faithful. Junior Maddie Pladson put the game out of reach with her first goal of the season to cap off the victory for ASU. On the men's side, the Sun Devils finished their season-opening road trip in Minnesota, splitting a 2-game series with Bemidji State. In the first matchup, the Beavers doubled ASU's output 40-20 in shots on goal, but ultimately fell by a score of 3-0. Sophomore goaltender TJ Semptenfelter turned in a stellar 40-save shutout performance, his first in a Sun Devil uniform. Game 2 on October 8th saw a barrage of goals from both sides in the first period and the score level at 3-3. Bemidji State once again outpaced ASU in shots by a wide margin, but this time was rewarded for their efforts, eking out a 5-4 overtime win. Senior Robert Mastro-Simone recorded his first 2 goals of the season in the loss, and talented sophomore Josh Doan tallied a goal and 2 assists on the night, his first points on the young season. The Sun Devils hit the ice at Mullet Arena for the first time tonight at 7 p.m. against Colgate and play the second half of their 2-game set against the Raiders tomorrow, October 15th. And guys, both matchups are expected to be sellouts.
Thank you, Kobe. It will sure be an exciting environment for the Sun Devil hockey team in their new home Mullet Arena. Repping some similar apparel to the hockey team is the baseball team, who unveiled both their new jerseys and new team for the upcoming season. Noelle Blumel has more on ASU's return to the Diamond.
Football may be taking a break this week, but not to worry, as it is never too early for spring sports. And we've got it covered with a short preview of none other than our 2023 Sun Devil baseball team. The team officially began fall practices last Friday and hosted a Fall Ball Media Day this week. And with that, here's a little sneak peek on what to expect from this year's roster. Depth, experienced, talented, and new are all words that have been used to describe the 2023 Arizona State baseball team. With just 12 returners, the team is practically rebranded after the coaching staff worked tirelessly to fill the open spots.
Staff did a tremendous job on researching and staying on top of the portal and getting hopefully what we think are guys that can help us out, both on the mound and position player wise. So yeah, I think we'll see when we're able to tee it up. But I think on paper certainly we've improved. There are definitely some decent impact guys that we brought in.
In addition to the impact of the newcomers, the returners have made a point to instill the expectations of this program early on and encourage leadership amongst the entire team.
I mean, it's awesome to see. Last year we had a lot of times where people were just kind of going through the motions, and so it's a nice little refresher to see everybody with the motivation and then just like the effort levels that are all around through everybody with pitchers and position players, even the freshmen.
Bullpen pitching was something the Devils consistently struggled with last season, but with 12 new pitchers, the coaching staff is hopeful for a different narrative this spring.
It's tough to expect freshmen to come in and fill that void right away, so we knew we were going to have to be active in the portal and hopefully bring in some experienced arm, but that's got to translate over into games, which we haven't. We're just getting started with our fall game, so hopefully we start seeing that translate over.
For now, the Devils will host weekly inter-squad scrimmages before getting after it in February. Until then, be sure to keep an eye out for the official baseball schedule that will be dropping soon and a couple weekends open in spring to watch this new team play.
Thanks, Noelle. I can't wait to see what all those newcomers have in store for us on the Diamond this spring. We don't have to wait to see ASU volleyball in action, as the Sun Devils are in the midst of a challenging Pac-12 schedule. Stephen Buxton has more.
ASU volleyball is coming off an 0-2 weekend against UCLA and USC. On Friday, the Sun Devils lost in 3 sets to the Bruins. Junior outside hitter Marta Levinska led the team in kills with 11, and senior outside hitter Iman Asanovic added 10 more kills. Along with sophomore Andy Kryling, the pair led the team in blocks with each of them recording 2. Senior libero Annika Larson-Nummer led the team in with 12 digs, and the Sun Devils failed to record any aces. Then on Sunday, after taking the first set against USC 25-18, ASU dropped 3 straight sets to lose the match. Junior middle blocker Claire Jeter's 11 kills and 5 blocks each led the team. Annika Larson-Nummer led the Devils with 2 of the team's 3 aces, and for the 4th straight game, senior setter Shannon Shields led the team in assists with 26. Going into this weekend, the Devils are tied for 8th place in the Pac-12 with a 2-4 conference record. For ASU to move up in the standings, it won't be easy. This weekend, the team hosts Cal, followed by a match against number 7 Stanford. Then they go on the road to face first place Washington and 4-2 Washington State. In order for the Devils to beat these teams, they need to improve all around, as the team is last in the Pac-12 in kills, assists, blocks, and opponent hitting percentage. They will have plenty of opportunities for the rest of the season to move up, though, as 5 of their remaining games are against top 3 opponents.
Thanks, Stephen. Now for an update on Sun Devil soccer, here's Kyle Krikorian.
It has been a tough 3-game stretch for Sun Devil women's soccer as they came up short in games facing Stanford, UCLA, and USC. During their game facing USC, freshman midfielder Anacia Colon scored her 2nd goal of the season while only playing 3 minutes of the entire match. Head coach Graham Winkworth was really pleased with Colon's performance offensively as well as defensively and hopes to find her more minutes in the near future. The Sun Devils will be hosting the Utah Utes Friday night, October 14th. Utah's coming off a big victory at home against Oregon State with a score of 6-0. The Sun Devils will hope to make this matchup a repeat of last season, where they secured a 4-1 victory at home against Utah. Tossing it back to you, Blake.
Yeah, Kyle, we will see if the Sun Devils can shake off those losses in Hollywood and rewrite the script against the Utes. Moving on to a different type of football, we will hand it over to Carly Koskovich for this week's edition of Pro Devils.
What a big week for the Sun Devils in the NFL. To start off, an unfortunate injury report. Rookie DJ Davidson was put on injury reserve after tearing his ACL in London during the 3rd quarter. In addition, Lawrence Guy, defensive end for the Patriots, is still not playing due to his shoulder injury. On the bright side, wide receiver N'Keal Harry began practicing this week after his recent ankle surgery. To kick off the exciting part, Matt Hawk is punting solid and averaging 45 yards per punt. Nevertheless, he is still trying to beat his record punt from week 1, which was 70 yards. Next, we have Brandon Ayuk, who caught 3 of 4 targets and ran 58 yards for the 49ers this weekend. Big stepper rookie Jack Jones has made his name known by catching his first career pick 6 off of Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. To follow up, the cornerback caught his 2nd interception against the Lions and his former teammate Chase Lucas. I heard Tom Brady has a soft spot for rookie Rachaad White. After 5 runs this past weekend, White pushed the Buccaneers' win, and Tom Brady states that White is the kind of guy that you can bet on. Last but certainly not least, Eno Benjamin went out of control with 8 carries, 3 catches, and scored his first touchdown of the season in the 4th quarter with an 11-yard dash into the end zone. Benjamin predicted to start this week for the Cardinals in Seattle due to the injuries of James Conner and Darrell Williams. Best of luck, Eno. We are sending you the Sun Devil spirit.
Thank you, Carly. It's always fun to see those Sun Devils out there on Sundays. Now for an update on tennis, we'll send it over to Mary Grace Grable.
Thanks, Ray. I'm excited to be making my debut, especially talking about Sun Devil tennis. Arizona State was well represented in the ITA All-American Championships. On the men's side, Murphy Calzone and Jacob Bullard qualified for the men's doubles main draw after a trio of victories in the qualifying rounds. On the women's side, the team of Dominika Turkovic and Patricia Spaka had quite the week. They breezed through the qualifying rounds and secured a spot in the semifinals before falling to the duo of Nell Miller and Amelia Rajecki. With strong performances so far this fall, tennis season can't come soon enough for ASU. Back to you at the desk.
That's all the time we got today. We hope you enjoyed our show. If you did, you can check out more Inferno Intel content on our website, infernointel.com, as well as our social platforms at Inferno Intel. For Ray Belcora and the rest of the crew, I'm Blake Neiman saying so long from Studio 6. We'll see you next time on Inside the Inferno.